Now we're going to listen to a page of A Small White Scar by K.A. Newsom. A hiss came from the snake, but not from its mouth. I heard a splat, and Denny and I looked down at his boots. Snake blood squirted across the toes of both. The rattler lay twisted on its side, so its creamy belly was up. My .22 had made a hole right through the widest part of its head. "Thank you, Brother Will. You had to shoot him." Denny's eyes were filled with tears. I nodded. "You had to shoot him." Denny looked down at the snake again, and then squatted next to it. "Sorry, Snake," he said. He looked up at me. "I feel sad to see his belly up, Brother Will. That is not comfortable for snakes." Before I understood what he was doing, before I could stop him, Denny reached his hand out toward the snake. His hand brushed across the rattler's mouth. The mouth opened, and the fangs snaked into Denny's left hand between his thumb and his index finger. Denny hollered and shook his arms in front of him, kind of running around inside his own body and not really going anywhere. Oh my God. I dropped my gun and grabbed him around his barrel chest, pinning his arms down and holding him until he quit jumping. The more he moved around, the quicker the venom would spread through his body. "It bit me! It bit me, Brother Will!" Denny was slobbering all over me because he was too scared to think about swallowing. He could only cry and shake. I know. Hold still now, and let me look at your hand. How did it bite me?" This book is about a 15-year-old boy named Will and his brother, Denny, who is also 15 and has Down syndrome. Will wants to be a professional cowboy, but feels that he's not going to be able to do that if he keeps living Denny's life. He feels like he needs to have his own independence, and in order to do that, he's going to have to leave the ranch, which his father does not want him to do. Will says, "My need for freedom, for my own life, was stronger than anything. It had to be. It had to be. This time, one way or another, I would shake him, for good and for all. I was going to have my life, not Denny's, but how?" Will decides in order to get his own life, he will take his horse Deep, who is one of his closest friends, and go to a rodeo. What he doesn't know is that Denny is also going to go with him. This book is great for children from 6th to 8th grade. It is not a difficult read. However, it does talk about some deep issues. It's also a great book if you want to learn about learning disabilities such as Down syndrome and how to cope with those, or people who are coping with those. And so if you want to find out what happens to Denny and his brother Will, then it'd be great if you read A Small White Scar by K.A. Newsom. Divided by adventure, united by blood.